Hello? I'm just back over here where I left off yesterday. Still more to do. Still creeps shoot me with lasers. Place some blocks of sand. So we can place them with the sponges as well. This looks about the middle of here. Oop. Well, always important to check. Looks like we were going to run into some seagrass anyway. I still have some invis potions, but I found it's just pretty easy to hide behind some blocks. It's probably not going to be as easy once I'm closer to the center. A little too much. Take that and put those there. Looks like it's way up here. There we go. All the sponge. Up some. Hello, hello. Today we are more yesterday, I think. We got quite a bit of space to get rid of, but I've already placed just a little bit of sand. I gotta get back out. What? Oh, it's way over here. There's the source. Oh, that's no bueno. I used my sponges up too quick. Let's see if I can't use some of these other wet sponges to find the remaining source blocks and maybe squash those. No, it is not. I'm certain there's a way to mathematically figure out exactly how to put the sponges, but I don't care that much. I'm only going to do it the once and then I won't have to do it again. Sort of a grin and bear it kind of moment. Getting better. Let's see. There we go. Now I gotta climb my way out of here. Get all this stuff picked back up. Broke the scaffolding. That's perfectly fine. I gotta get down anyway. Oh, looks like I had 5 regular sponges left. I think I'm short a sponge. There you are. 6 regular sponges left. We'll head off to the nether. Get these guys dry. Ow. Don't worry about the skeletons. Bye-bye. Alright. Then we gotta go right back through. Looks like they were waiting for me. We'll take a quick little snooze when we land. Just teleport into bed. Oh, a rainbow. How sweet. Oh, how awkward. There we go. And blam. There we go. That one was much easier. Yes. Pride time. We're getting close. Pride's just around the corner. All the sponge is... Maybe I should go up higher. That might help. Just a smidge. One more. Yeah, this should be it. That uses about half my sponges to do. Awesome. Bloop. There we go. That one took way fewer. I suppose it would be easier to do the smaller ones, wouldn't it? That only makes sense. Alright, that should be all of them. I landed in the wrong hole. I missed. Have to reclaim some of the sand eventually, so we can, keep using it. And boop, 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 boop. We're pooping sponges. That is a wet sponge. Oh, and I'm out. Dip dang it. They should make it to where there's... you know what? There are other ways to dry them. Gotta bust the scaffolding out. Climb up on top of the sponges here and, you know, poke them all back out. Oop. Oop. Ooh. Don't want to break that one just yet. Couple more. Let's make sure we get them all. Right. Oh. Scaffolding our way out. That's how we'll get out. Don't you shoot that laser beam at me. Hop right on through back over to the nether to dry these sponges back out. Alright, let's get a couple more sponges. Bam, bam. Pick all these right back up. I'm getting all okay. Short one. Hold on. There you are. I hate how few sponges that a single monument gives you. It's obnoxious. For such a handy block. That, or maybe they should be a little more powerful. If I'm going to have to use these to drain the whole ocean. Whee! There we go. And I've already placed the scaffolding out, so this will be a quick one. Okay, I've still got plenty too. I should have at least enough to finish up the segment of rows I'm in. I actually think they should change the monument. The monument's quite old now. I think there's some kind of underwater expansion we could be using. Because these guys are cool. They did a lot of expansions with them in dungeons where they added like the ancient ones. But then again, I'm always asking for more of the stuff they added from dungeons. This back. Yeah, the rooms, when you're inside of them, do not feel as fleshed out as a structure could be. Considering it's like a monument, what is it a monument to, you know? I digress. I think a lot of the structures could really just be fleshed out a smidge more. I don't think I want it to be terribly overwritten because I know there's a certain je ne sais quoi to what we have already. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I was actually talking about this with you in a previous point, I believe. How I think they should add a new structure to show off the spear and the underwater capabilities of the Nautilus. And some kind of like. We've already got. We've already got a whole bunch of stuff in the water, and especially a whole bunch of skeleton variants. But I really like the one that's in the that's in dungeons that has the coral all over him. He looks cool. Woo! Is that all of them? I'm never gonna get this landing. That's it. Woo. Turn off elytra. Okay. Take a little sleep. I believe that's all of this row. Yeah. That's the whole row. We're gonna have to break all this sand and then use it to place the next line. Get myself lined up over here. Just get covered in sand. Honestly, this is not a situation I would want to be in. Oh no, water. There we go. Fixed. All right. What should I build on top of the farm? I like building them to look nice. I'm thinking about the farm is going to sit probably at the bottom of this like trench. Probably going to have to decorate the outside of it. I'm not certain what with. Maybe I'll do like pixel art or something. Aquatic greenhouse. That's interesting. So like down at the bottom of this gorge of dry sea, I've got like a bubble of houseboat. I like the idea of a houseboat. I think a houseboat would have to be on the water surface. This is going to be like a hole in the ocean. A sunken pirate boat over top of it. That would look cool, actually. Like I excavated that. Maybe be a whole bunch of pirate ships or something. Davy Jones' locker. I built a few pirate ships before. They are more complex than you realize. It's the weird angles. And like I could put that excavated pirate fleet over top of what will eventually be a guardian farm. Is the last one? Yeah, that's the last one. Other side of this wall is water. That one. I guess technically all four of them. There's water on the opposite side of those walls. Yeah, it would be a facade. Kind of like your smithy is a facade for my redstone contraption. I'm going to take these gravity blocks. Because it's free gravity blocks and I need gravity blocks for this. I wonder if making the initial grid out of solid blocks would be better. Well, I was thinking maybe I make the grid and then from inside the water, like underneath it, place the blocks facing downwards so the gravity block falls from them. Because it seemed a lot easier to do with the sponges once I had the grid in place. So maybe if I'd set the grid ahead of time at the very top and then place the blocks to fall from it, that might work. So let's see. This would be an incredible use case for a stack of dirt. There's a little bit of trouble mining sand with a beefed up shovel. That's not really my issue. I have no qualms with that part in particular. I know your stack of dirt is so important to you. I saw my My wings here. They're not looking so healthy. Oh? Ah, yes, my companion dirt. For when I need to feel dirty. Come on. Drop dudes. Whatever. They're good enough. They're good enough. Okay, let's see here. Make my way back down. Excuse me, Mr. Door. Make my way back downstairs. We'll grab some stacks of dirt. You're right, I should have some. This will help, like I said, make the initial grid so for me to place blocks off of. We'll go out the cool way. Whoosh. We're gonna dirt it your dirt way. But I'm gonna do it invisibly. Alright. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. 3. This 7 number is completely arbitrary. Alright. Make my way across the top here. This will also prevent me from, like, throwing sand down at the bottom, only for it to get hit by seagrass. gonna suck doing this without my helmet on. But the more of the area that I make completely devoid of water, the more of the area it will be easier for me to navigate. Dirt box. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going like right over the top though, so we should see quite a few more and might accidentally have to. I don't know if I would make a dock or a boardwalk all the way out here. It's a little separated from other things. A dock at the bottom of the ocean would be a little silly, I think. That's where there isn't water. Or rather, there's water now. Maybe not in the future. I'm going to eat this old ocean monument the moment that there's not water on top of it anymore. So much easier to do when you start at the top and work down instead of boring away at the insides like a termite. A dock or a boardwalk, it does sound very cute, though. The Monument Eating Brigade? How about help me with the Draining the Ocean Brigade? Yeah, I didn't think so. Take a little snoozle. Looks like my invis is about to run out. My favorite type of soda? You're not going to believe me. Heck, the answer is even demonetizable in the right circumstance. My favorite soda in the whole world is the grapefruit flavored beverage Squirt. It's light, it's refreshing, it's not too sweet, it's actually quite sour. Yes, I know, the naughtiest of words. Squirt. See? See? Squirt is awesome. Not sponsored, though I am willing to take sponsorships for free product for squirts specifically. Yes, yes, I do enjoy a good squirt now and again. If you're a fan of citrusy beverages, I recommend you know, you might also enjoy squirting. Having a squirt, excuse me. Ha 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 ha. Hilarious. Yes, kitty cat? Oh no, not the YouTube. No! This isn't even on YouTube yet. How did they get me? I'm not even monetized in the first place. No, not thought crimes! I didn't do it! The Future Crimes Division can't get me. I didn't do anything. Maybe I did play someone else's music on my stream without putting a link to their SoundCloud immediately. Whoa. Really? Why did you bring it up then? What do I need to do to smooth things over with the board? Oh. What did he do? Eat it? Do you throw it to him like a steak? Speaking of the music, how's the volume? He's crunched weird things. I know. It was part of his brand that he's no longer proud of. Or it's what launched his career in my eyes. Griffin's Amiibo Corner will always remain my favorite YouTube series because he ate Shovel Knight. And also, when he got trapped, that was so funny. The physical torture of that man was hilarious. Exactly, exactly. It holds a very special place in my heart. Maybe not my eyeballs. Is that rooted dirt in there? Doesn't look like it. Well, that was an accident. Fixed. They like the toys I gave them. They like that I made them a grid. A little bit, yes. So what I did was a long time ago on a stream that was like a month away at this point. I went out of my way to go and get some guardians for my farm. You can't see it from here. Your castle's in the way. I'll have to completely mow through everything. Just so you can see my boat from here. I made a boat and I put some pillars around it, and those pillars have guardians on top of them. To move the guardians, you got to get them in boats, and then you got to put the boats in mine carts. And then you got to break the boats and the mine carts, and then you got to get them in their spot. And it was obnoxious, but I did it. Don't worry, I won't eat your castle or anything. That's what Galactus does. I'm not Galactus. I'm Skittlebop. I'm also invisible. A little bit like that, yeah. I would say it's a little more organized. Not having to, deal with natural terrain because I have the ability of math and squares. But it does sort of resemble that with all of the pools of water. I was thinking more like a fish farm almost. Though I suppose that's what it will be soon enough. I see. Yeah, I went no contact with my fish farm. This is rooted dirt. I knew it. I don't want to take this. Regular dirt. Don't want a creeper spawning on this randomly. Exactly. Plus, I'm not wearing any armor, so if they blew up, I would probably have died. I'm not wearing armor because I don't want those doofuses down there to swim up here and shoot me with lasers. This whole process would be far harder if they could see me. Here we go. No. This mound here in the center is from where Cookie and I used TNT to blow a hole in the ceiling. If you drop a falling block onto TNT, it still explodes even underwater, which allows you to get a nice quick break in, even though you have the mining fatigue. Yeah, it's a handy little tactic. Oh, you're just saying that. I only know some of the stuff about Minecraft. Okay, fair. From my point of view, it just feels like common knowledge. But I suppose if you haven't been playing this game since it came out, there's definitely some mystique. They do a lot to. Whoa! Yowie wowie! Uh oh! Can't see me now! Woo. That was a close one. The game does have a certain air of mystique. They don't do a lot to teach you about what's going on. They kind of just tell you, go chop wood, and then the rest is from there. All right. That's a nice grid. It's going to give us the ability to start placing sand a little easier. Hopefully. Let's get it going on the other side. Let's see. Hello, gentlemen. This was the part I was nervous about. um, they wouldn't happen to notice me if I did this. There we go. Whew. For now, that should be plenty. All right, now that I'm over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't need any of that jazz. Ah, last one. I free you. Be free. And don't shoot me with lasers, or I'll get really mad. And run away, because I'm not very good at fighting. Noticed a particular hair in this that I'm not a huge fan of. If you look down there, there's spots where we made this initial wall made of sand that cut through the straight center of it. And there's spots where it's not actually full there. That's going to be annoying later. For now, I'll ignore it. Want me to use my rooted dirt? Don't want to use my rooted dirt. At least not for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I wonder if they consider this like the Nuzlocke, doing these crazy big farms. I know Nintendo's not a fan of the way that people Nuzlocke with their stuff. I wonder if Mojang feels weird when people drain massive portions of the ocean. I bet they're probably a little more chill about it. Like, whoa, we didn't even think anyone would do that. I wonder if anyone thinks like, I don't like that they drain entire parts of the ocean, and that's why we don't have better sponges. It is now nighttime. Instead of fighting monsters, because I'm certain it's going to give me a zombie or something, I'm going to run over here and go to bed. Your idea. Yeah. Absolutely. Apparently Nintendo doesn't like to think that way. Or Game Freak, rather. Tedious work draining the ocean. We've only started a portion of the draining. And this is obnoxious and boring. When's the part when I start placing blocks that are cool? Like redstone comparators or something. I guess that comes when the farm part comes. Getting to my favorite part is the hard part, you know? I suppose I have to remember the journey's part of the destination. You have a secret hat? Why is it a secret? Hello! You amphibious reptilian critters with your weird bodies. Whoa, cat! They sent you a hat for free? What? It just says, I love squirting on it. But squirting is it's got the brand for the word squirt. I think it's an untapped brand option for them. They aren't bold enough. What? Hide it under a bushel? No. Let that squirt shine. Let's see here. It would help if I had blocks in my hand. You look a way to look at your different notifications while you're on stream. And you mess up. It's as simple as that, folks. Don't look at your don't look at chat. That's definitely how to stream. Don't worry, I'll look at you, chat. Chat will be witnessed. Get some more dirt out. Am I gonna need to get more dirt than this whole shulker box of dirt? 3 kinds of chips for the rest of my life. That's a hard one. As someone who is gluten-free, chips are my lifeblood when it comes to snacking because it's something that doesn't have gluten in it. But I would want to have Lay's Kettle jalapeno chips because I love the crunch and I love the spicy. Though if I eat too many, it hurts my mouth in like a sharp way and not a spicy way. Um, Oots, the brand Oots has a really good barbecue chip. Yeah, the kettle cooked chips have that awesome crunch to them. It's pretty much the same across all kettle cooked chips. It's incredible. It's so specific to fried potato that honestly I'm surprised we haven't found something else to match that exact crunch. I think the only other thing that could is probably like fried paper. It's wild how in some cases oil will make things like weird and gross and slippery and wet, but in other cases it it turns them into like briquettes. If you ever over fry something, it turns like black and into charcoal. Oh no. There we go. Yes, turning it feels like Greek philosophy there. The more oil you are, the more of a charcoal briquette you'll turn into. And there we go. Let's get back to the bed because it is bedtime. Ooh, I didn't finish answering the question. Oots has a really good barbecue chip, and Lay's have one other chip I really like. It sounds insane, but the baked Lay's are better than the regular Lay's. Just the plain baked Lay's. Something about them feels like a better experience. They're less greasy. The crunch is better. Nice and crispy and airy. Like, it's not like a health food thing. I just prefer them. Honestly, it's probably not even healthy to eat those over the regular ones. Before you know, we're gonna have Ozempic protein chips. Yeah, I don't like it either, but it's gotta get my Labubu in. Don't know that this is gonna be enough potions, but I know that I'm gonna need more sand, and I'm gonna need to get more dirt, because this is the last of my dirt, and I don't think it's gonna cut it. So longs. Thank you for joining the stream, though. Perhaps you'll be able to join in the future. Yeah, definitely not making it. Oh man, I don't want to use my rooted dirt. Shouldn't have even been in this box in the first place. Hmm. One regular dirt. That's all sand. That's my rooted. Empty, empty, empty. Darn it. We'll fly back to base then, pick up some dirt, say hi to everybody, maybe make some new potions. Woo. Hello everyone, I'm home. At least for now. Put that there. Any rooted dirt in this box? Yeah, what the heck? That's coarse dirt. We'll put that in there too. Make sure we only click on grass blocks. There we go. Drop off this gravel. A little bit of kelp. Let's grab some more sand too. It's pure sand. Put these 2 empty shulker boxes away. They're just taking up space. While we're here, let's also take care of our sponges. Oh, no redstone. Just putting in water bottles first. Gold carrots will be the next one. Out, put that in, take that out, put that in. I'm gonna need more spider eyes. Spiders. Let's get these puppies fermented. The idea of a fermented spider eye is interesting. Because, like, fermentation does happen with sugar. And I guess you can pickle these. What does this thing taste like, I guess? I know that it hurts you to eat it because it's a spider eye, but, like, I'm so curious what the taste is. Let's put these glass bottles away. Potion stuff. Additives. Base. Let's collect our potions. And there we go. Should be plenty to get back out there. Let's go grab our dirt. Oh, actually, let's do our sponge stuff first. What time I said? We'll just sleep when we get back over there. It's wet sponge time. Pick our way back down to the floor. And that's all of them. Good. Wait. I think that one is spawn. Nope, that was wrong. Well, I'll at least enjoy the sunset. Back through. Let's see. If that's my place... What direction? I'm facing north right now. Okay, so it's this way. It's that one. Oop. There we go. That way? Yeah. Get back to our grid running. Yeah, a little sip of the brewski. Wings off before anyone notices me. Good, good, good. And then back what we were doing. Like nothing happened. Oh boy. Three more lines of dirt and we will get with the placing of the sand. My other hope for this is that this is just going to help me direct anyone who decides to hop on the server and help. It's maybe, if I'm lucky, one of them goobers will do it. Won't be a problem now. So the prismarine that I'm gathering, the whole reason I'm making a farm, is going to be because I'm using it to make something for the Carillon. I've got like a big sort of crowning jewel for it, I suppose I'll call it. The final piece that sits on top of the toppiest tower. I'm excited. But I need a bunch of stuff. I think one of the things that we need, I know we just got an underwater mob. He's really interesting. The Nautilus is really cool. It does not feel like it's the right critter for using a spear. I don't know if that makes sense. Hmm. I think for this row specifically, the water's a little wider. But one of the things I was thinking was could be interesting as like an alternative. Maybe there's like a new structure and another whole new sequence of mob variants. But I think the thing I would like to see is like a kelpie, but not like they're typically depicted. I think riding around on like maybe a hippocampus would be a better description for it. But I would like it to be made out of kelp, the same way that I feel like the creepers are made out of like some kind of grassy peat moss. Right, let's play some sand. Hmm. Oop, drowning. Keeping an eye on those bubbles, ah? That's pretty fast. This is a lot easier, though. Yeah, I think something like a hippocampus or kelpie would be kind of fun to have like as a speedy mob to have underwater. The Nautilus all go at like the same rate, so I think in this case, this hippocampus or kelpie would be like a little more like the horses, where they've got variable speeds and stats. I know that technically would outclass the Nautilus in its entirety, so you would probably want to have them be difficult to find. So having them be made out of like a plant-like material like kelp or like coral, maybe even, would help them like camouflage in their natural habitat. Obviously, the Nautilus can be in a lot of the warm oceans as well, so maybe this should be something where, oop, I am not invisible. Don't look at me. But I think having them be something that's like maybe difficult to find, or maybe doesn't spawn in the same location as every other cool mob in the ocean. I think also maybe the monument generation could be tweaked a little bit. I don't like fighting them in icy oceans. That layer of ice on top is really annoying. Having them instead be something where, like, the ice is removed, or maybe, yeah, even if, like, when they spawn there's a way to remove that layer of ice so they're not underneath it. I guess technically you can remove it, but it's just annoying. Ooh, or maybe like mob variants of things like the Guardians, because right now we have the Ancient Guardian, or like the Elder Guardian and the Ancient Guardian and the regular Guardian. But having something else in a similar family or ecological nature. One of the things that was really cool about the Guardians when they were added was that they would attack fish and squid. But now you don't really get to see that interaction unless you stand around here like I do for a while, because the squid don't spawn that quick. One of the ways you would know that you had found a monument that had been raided in the past was that fish would be on the surface, implying that the chunks had been loaded and that the Guardians had been killing the fish. Oh no, they just dropped fish and they were getting sucked down. That's right, there were magma blocks underneath before. I digress. I think that something that's a little faster, maybe a little more variable than the Nautilus, because the Nautilus, while it has those three variants, the stats don't vary all that much. I think there's a slight 10% increase on speed for the Nautilus if it's a zombie one. But like, because it's just a flat buff, and the only real downside is that it burns in the daylight, which you can circumvent by putting it in armor. It just feels like a regular Nautilus isn't worth getting when you could go get a zombie one. Because, like, what's the point at that point? I do like the other new stuff they've been adding, though. Very, very excited about the sulfur springs. The hot springs look like such an interesting way for things to progress. I want to make an Elytra course so bad, and it is part of the reason I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now. It's raining. Ooh, and there's monsters, all right. Luckily, I'm invisible still. Give me that. Ah, yes, Minecraft. The beautiful sight of rainbows and burning flesh. Ah, what a game. I want to just barely make out my stuff from here. I have run out of spare dirt. Let's see here. Dirt? I meant sand. Sand. One of the other things that I think we could update. Oh gosh, is there a. There sure is. Uh huh. But I think one of the other things we could use is like a sort of magic update. I know everyone's so used to everything. I don't want it to like change too much. I would like more things added that feel sort of magical and, for lack of better words, whimsical. Perhaps of a fantastical nature. Doesn't necessarily need to use the word whimsical, I suppose. Because, like, look at this guy. The Guardian is an insane. It's a giant eyeball fish that has spikes and shoots lasers. What? That's a Metroid villain. Like, what? I think the last big. I suppose they've added a couple extra fantastical things recently, but they've just felt like variants of existing things. The Happy Ghast, the Copper Golem, the Sulfur Cube. All of these things are sort of like expansions on existing ideas, and I'm not against expanding on existing ideas. I'm just craving something a little more classically magic feeling. I know mods exist for it. I just feel like those mods often take a weird approach to it. Every mod is a little bit different and has, some of its author inside of it. Because every art that is made with someone inside of it. Or, I suppose, the author's intent inside of it. Invisible again. Ow. I like that they like to remind me. Keeps me humble. Because, like, what do I know, right? I'm not a game dev. I just think that because we have witches, we should be able to have something like other silly things from witches. I wish the cauldron was used more in potion brewing, for because we have witches. Maybe an overall to the sort of general shape of the witch hut. Because right now it's literally just a dirt box on stilts. It's one of the most basic houses a player can make. Oh, this again. That's going to be annoying. Alright, that should have taken care of all of the kelp that was on this row, which is going to be just a portion of all the kelp that we're going to have to break. Let's see. I think one of the other things I really want is yellow leaves. They did give us yellow with the sulfur cube, but I really want yellow leaves. And I already know I said I wanted some of the stuff from dungeons, but like, it's right there. You've already expanded on in the world in such a way that you could give us yellow leaves, and you're choosing not to. Mochan, give me yellow leaves, please. Please. Heck, you don't even have to do it in the end, if that'll make it easier. I think one of the cool ways that they could implement yellow leaves is having them also introduce, like, maybe a way to get golden apples. Maybe not farmable per se, but like, you could sort of already get them by trading with clerics, you know? So if you went out of your way to maybe find, kind of like how the Pale Garden is a rarer biome that exists inside of a current biome, you could do like something at the tippy top of a mountain, and it's like a secluded glade of golden trees with golden apples and golden wood. And put like a weird eyeball monster in there. That sounds random, but I swear it's not. It could be like Argus. The other way that I've thought about that they could implement some kind of yellow leaf would be like if there was like a maple grove, they could introduce red and yellow leaves at the same time. I just really want red and yellow leaves because I love autumn so much. And the closest to autumn that we have is leaf litter and birch leaves. It's so sad. I know I'm technically playing a modded client and a modded server, but I'm trying to get that vanilla feel. And I don't want to have to add, like, a whole new thing that isn't canon. That way I can, keep it running for as long as possible. Well, hello! Thanks for stopping by. Right now I am clearing out an ocean monument. I'm invisible. And I'm gonna have to drink another potion soon. Yeah, I'm gathering up prismarine. I've got a big building way over there. I got something I want to put up on top. But I need dark prismarine for it. I've got an ink farm that's guardian powered already. Ooh, that's not right. That's fair. There's a certain amount of trust that's usually requested for people to become an admin on a server, especially on an SMP of all places. There's a lot of trust that has to be placed in that person, and it requires a lot of, faith, I think. I'm the server admin on this server, but also it's a private server. I suppose so. I pay for it, so it belongs to me, so it's a little bit more like a my money, my rules sort of scenario. Though I do try to make sure that I do everything honest. Always do the hard work ahead of time, be willing to do it, otherwise, why'd you play the game? It's a nice little challenge, and maybe a little tedious to place all this sand. But it'll be worth it to see a big blue thing in the sky. I'm excited. That's an awful lot of netherite. But, I do understand the desire for excess. I am... I'm quite fond of opulence myself. Woof, that's a rough one. Netherite lost in the void? Every time I lose my gear, I feel terrible. It's such a slog getting back up from the top, so I do understand wanting to make sure you've got a lot of them. I've got a lot of elytra, that's for sure. I don't think you necessarily need to be admin on a server to be able to get that stuff, but I understand if there are barriers in the way. Things like having to reset the nether might also be a little frustrating. I see. We lucked out as far as silence trim goes. Absolutely. The silence trim is insane to try and get your hands on. We, on this seed, there's a massive, like, chain of ancient cities. It's like 18 total. They're all just sort of chained together in one long underground stint. Uh, currently, I'm the only person on the server, but there's other folks playing. We could fly around, I suppose. Let's put my gear on. So over here is Dancer Dragon. He's working on making like a castle, classic stuff. I'm over here. That's Cheese Waffle. Cheese Waffle has a tiny house. Losing your elytra is the roughest. This is Cheese Waffle, and this is my place here. I'm just about out of sand, so it's actually probably pretty good that I came back. It can be hard to run. I feel like I'm constantly having to get people to come onto the server and do their eat their peas, so to speak. Sand. I am gonna run out of sand. This is sandstone. That's empty. That's empty. Oh boy. Sand. I guess we're gonna have to go to our backup and get gravel soon. Gravity blocks are gravity blocks, I suppose. Well, thanks for the follow. You're allowed to follow for any reason you'd like. I especially like that you followed at all. Let's see. Almost bedtime. I am, in fact, new at Twitch. That's correct. New at Twitch, not new at Minecraft. Very different things. Yeah, just a teeny tiny more. Here we are. Nice. That's definitely more than I got. Congrats, man. Or person. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing since 2009, which is placing blocks. It'll be a cold day in hell when I finally start placing these things. How did they? Oh, it's my armor. Oh, a dolphin. It is bedtime. Hold on. Don't want anyone to spawn in and shoot me off of here. That'd be annoying. Go. Whew, man, placing sand is way harder than placing dirt. If it weren't for the fact that this is like a sort of family thing, I would be a little more open with who gets to join. I'd invite you, but this just ain't the place for it, I'm afraid. All right, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Ace, how are you? Yeah, absolutely. Just woke up. You must be on the other side of the world, or at least having a different schedule from me. It's nearly 5 p.m. where I'm at. Ain't nothing wrong with getting up late, though. I used to work overnight, so I completely understand. That makes a little more sense. Today we're working on what I was working on yesterday. We've got a grass grid laid out, and now I'm placing sand. I've only got like a stack of sponge. Oh, these guys are fun. Plan is to try and get as much of this sand placed as I can today, and then I'm going to go through and drain all this, and then I don't think we'll do too much draining today. Hopefully I'll have an actual vid where I do all of it up on the channel. I should be recording this with flashback, shouldn't I? So way over there I've got my Carillon. We're quite a bit a ways from the base. I'm gonna put something on top of it using dark prismarine. I don't know how much of my base you've ended up seeing, because I know you watched a couple of VODs, but I've got an ink farm already that's powered by Guardians. And now we're down to gravel. I'm officially out of sand. But yeah, I'm making a Guardian farm. I hate that Dark Prismarine requires, like, at minimum, you to kill 3 mobs. 2 Guardians and a squid. That's insane. I've already cleared out the one that's here that we're working on. Of at least the Elder Guardians, and we started working on the inside like termites, but it's just not the same as when it's dry. These are placing. No! Gosh dang it. Sometimes. Help. Obnoxious. Makes all the blocks float up, and I gotta go back after them, and it's a big old mess. Especially to not have my enchanted helmet on. Ace, you planning on streaming later? I don't think there's too much folks in here, but I'll at least give a raid. I see. Well, I'll keep an eye out, and if our channelers or schedules have managed to cross paths, I'll definitely throw whoever's watching out your way. I'm about to lose invis. Don't shoot me with lasers, please. Let's see. I know, editing's such a pain. I enjoy doing it, but like, it takes up so much time. Any hints on the next video? Well, that could be anything. That's everything from Hamlet to Kingdom Hearts. I know. One of my favorite parts about storytelling is that it's always the same, except it's never the same. I was just talking about this earlier today, about how, like, stories shift and change through time and space, and that we're always telling the same stories. And I was a little bit jokingly, but we ended up thinking a little too hard about it and making ourselves depressed. We were talking about how the Greek pantheon of gods have eventually just turned into really weird MCU characters. Yeah. Like, no one's gonna be a direct one to one, this guy is Zeus or whatnot, but I feel like the way that we process stories in our, like, cultural zeitgeist ends up turning into just a rehash of everything we've already done, and that's why Lion King is Hamlet. But we ended up talking, like, which hero happens to have what attributes of which god. It's just like literary analysis stuff. I got weird friends. Stinks that I can't do anything with any of that knowledge, and I kind of use it, I guess, just for making YouTube videos and D&D campaigns. That's really what I do the most of with my storytelling prowess. Absolutely, I think there's a ton to talk about when it comes to like the way that we reuse the same characters over and over again. And I was talking, one of the things we were talking about today was like how cowboys are one of like only genuinely new like evolutions on a concept, and even then the concept is uh not that new. I know that it probably sounds crazy, um but like cowboys hold a big cultural significance. Ooh, nice. I didn't do too much in school, didn't do super well. I can't sit through the classes. I did try to go for musical theater so I could go into music education, but it's just not, ain't for me. Ooh, absolutely. Tons to talk about. I love literary analysis. It's my favorite. Where'd my bed go? What? Oh, it's down there. I just can't see it. Yeah, I think literary analysis and the way that like it is a reflection of our culture of when it's written is super nifty, and I just love art in general. Oh, cool! We finished. We finished this one row. Hooray! One row. We've also got one row over there, but that one's drained. Now comes the silly part. Ta-da! Ta-da! No, bad scaffolding. Go up. Thank you. My hope is that I can take this love of storytelling that I have and translate it into something interesting with my channel. I don't think I'll be able to in the long run, because eventually Minecraft's going to win out over whatever story I try to tell. But at least it's Minecraft that wins. I like Minecraft. I get to break blocks there. Ooh, missed one. Oh, absolutely. I know people love doing those. It's just, perhaps I'm nervous about the quality. I suppose that's what all art is, huh? Has this got water in it? This totally got water in it. Why am I even asking? Um, where did my rocket? Did I use all my rockets? Well, that's upsetting. Here's my plan. Give me water. That's fair enough. Anything's worth doing. There we go. And I'm about to lose my invis. But that's okay, they're way over there. I think one of the other things that's holding me back is I'm still learning video editing. I'm not new to Minecraft, but I'm new to video editing and Twitch and such. So this is, I suppose, maybe imposter syndrome. But any art worth making is art at all, so. Like I say at the end of my videos, dancer, it doesn't matter, right? I use Shotcut because I run Linux. And that is why I use Shotcut. Shotcut's awesome. Literally, the videos that I have on my channel I've made using Shotcut, and I'm brand new. It's like out of the box brand new. Wrong way. That way. DaVinci Resolve. I'll look into it. Oop. Don't you shoot lasers at me. What do you like about DaVinci Resolve that's better than Shotcut? Because I literally have no frame of reference. Interesting. Do you use any like special editing packs? I see a lot of stuff for editing. I guess YouTube's picked up on the fact that I'm, learning that stuff. Nice. That is how I was hoping it was be. Free is the best. I also love anything open source, so that's one of the main reasons I like Shotcut. Up we go. Knock out some more of these sponges. Mm. Oop, missed one. All right. Should be this way. Water. Yeah. Don't know how many more of these we'll be able to do before we have to go back to the nether to dry these out. Looks like it takes about 10 for me to get down to the bottom. See, that was 9. Hit? Nope. I don't think I'm going to be able to parkour this. Let's see. That's all for this one. Oh, wait. That way. This is my lift. This is so much better than being shot at with lasers. I will not lie. Yeah, that's the last one. Okay. I guess I'm not getting that one. Not from down here, at least. That should be all of those. Let's get back to the bottom. I should put my armor on if I'm going to be falling this far. Well, beans. One of these two is going to give me water. There we go. Oh no, I took the ender chest out of my toolbox. Looks like I get company. Let's see. Here it comes. What's up, Sunny? To the bottom of the ocean with ye. I'm out of rockets, which is less than ideal. I was talking earlier about a writable mob that I think would be cool, and I think that this would be the perfect place to sort of implement it. Sort of like a hippocampus or a kelpie, just sort of like a weird kelp monster that's long and stringy and maybe shaped like a seahorse, and like it would be difficult to find through the kelp forests. I also think that the ocean floor needs a rehaul just in general. It'd be faster to get to Dragon's house. Yeah, Dragon's got an ender chest. Oh, and you'll have to check this out on our way. I found a special thing here in this village that we ate. Look at this door. It's floating. This was part of like a cleric's house, but the path generation like ripped the ground out from underneath it. So, of course, we're sending readings back to base. Don't worry. Don't worry. It will be understood eventually. It is spooky, though. Get out of my way. Whee. Dancer Dragon, one of my server mates, is this castle up here. And it's where I made that smithy. And there's an ender chest in here. Hooray! Oh, rockets. My wings ain't looking so hot. Let's put those away too. Oh, this is far from the vision. This is like 2/3 of the vision for Dancer Dragon. So the plan is to have like an open market here. It's supposed to be kind of like a castle town, but then through to the other side, there's another tower here. This is going to be like an internal. We're thinking like Dragon's Reach from Skyrim. It's going to be simple, but it's going to be like ornate and castle-y. And then out this direction, we don't have any walls built just yet, but we discussed it earlier today. There's going to be an extension that comes out this way. So we're going to have to do some terraforming. I'm helping it get it done. He's using my portal to get to the nether, though, so we'll have to use my portal to get to the nether. Yeah, this is my place. There's the Carillon. This is what the Dark Prismarine's for. I really like the copper blocks. And I especially liked the Tricky Trial update. I think it's really what got me back into Minecraft. I played when it came out, and then I dropped off for a while. But then when the Tricky Trial update came out, I really got back into watching the content. And it got my gears going. I revamped my skin, started the server. It's been going since. We got my gold farm and bartering farm. Way over there's the Froglight farm. There is another portal closer to the monument, but I was out of rockets, so I had to go back to some place that had an ender chest. Ah, here we go. Still not all the way up to the top. And that's the hole we broke down into the bottom. Unfortunately, though, a little bit, because I gotta go get certain stuff. Yeah. Give you the Disney tour. Oh, I gotta show you the secret. I don't put this in a lot of videos. The secret. This is something I'm keeping a little secret. So sheesh. This is our in portal frame. But it's down. cleared out this room. This was our stronghold, and it used to look like a regular stronghold. I guess the rest of it's off this way. But, I've got like a research facility sitting on top of it, as though this is some kind of alien thing. I've got some fun plans for it. You can actually see one of our other farms. There's our Shulker farm. That was obnoxious. You can see, I've got a snowmobile out here because this is a snowy biome. This is Rob Zombie. This is far from done, and I have fun things for the future for like what I could do with a story. Do I have sand here? Please tell me I have some sand here. Sand? No. No. This is like a base away from home. So finding 4 sand is pretty funny. Oh boy. 20 sand. That's exactly what I needed. And 10 gravel. Oh man. It's better than no sand, I suppose. I know. Honestly, it's overwhelming how much sand this is. I might be able to put, like, I don't know, a third of a pillar into the ocean monument with it, but that might be crazy. Ooh, I love my base at this time of day. Splorch. I love the mud. What's up, Banjo? Well, Ace, thanks for stopping by. I only got 20 blocks of sand left, so I think I've got another project ahead of me. So I guess I'll get on to that. Um, I'll see if I can't raid someone. But thanks for watching, and I'll post this to YouTube in a little bit. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. Transition there. And yeah, see ya. I don't know who this is. Go watch this person.